to back it up, right?
Oh, yeah. Man, people love this guy. And let's take a look at the tail of the tape. 43 years of age. Almost double here for Álvarez, who's 29 years old. 144.2 official weight for Arreola, 145.9 for Álvarez. Height are equal for both of them, 5'9" for both these guys. A 72-inch reach for Arreola, 68 inches for Álvarez. 9-8 for Arreola as official record, 3-0 for our boy here who's fighting and showing up for this amazing matchup. Juan El Mazo Álvarez.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the featherweight division. Señoras y señores, este combate es de 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la categoría de peso pluma de LUX Fight League. Presentando primero, en la esquina blanca, un especialista en Muay Thai y Jiu-Jitsu. Récord profesional de 3 ganadas, 1 perdida. Una altura de 1,76 centímetros y un peso oficial de 145.9 libras. Presenting now, on the white corner, is a Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu fighter. Per record of 3 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and official weight of 145.9 pounds. From Monterrey, Mexico, and fighting straight out of Juárez, Nuevo León, Mexico, is Juan El Mazo Álvarez. Su oponente, al otro lado de la jaula, en la esquina negra, un especialista en striking, récord profesional de 9 ganadas, 8 perdidas, una altura de 1,75 centímetros y un peso oficial de 144.2 libras. Presenting now, on the black corner, he's a striker, per record of 9 wins, 8 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and official weight of 144.2 pounds. Fighting straight out of Monterrey, Mexico, is Ricardo El Loco Arreola. The third inside the cage, la tercera sobre la jaula, Daniela Modad.
Alrighty, so you guys are about to get a treat. A guy that always brings it, regardless of the outcome. Ricardo El Loco Arreola, and he'll be facing the 29-year-old native of Monterrey, Juan El Mazo Álvarez. So 2 Regios going against each other here tonight. Daniela Modad will be the referee for this 3-round bout. Everybody's ready. We are ready. So welcome inside the black and gold cage. Alongside UFC veteran Alex Soto, I am Francisco X Rivera. Glad that you can join us. Time for the lightweights to go toe-to-toe.
Locote already moving nice and smooth, man. Not like a 43-year-old would, you know. Just really relaxed in there. Nice inside kick there from Álvarez.
Let me correct myself. Arreola dropping down to 145 compared to his usual 155. So it's time for the featherweights. A very interesting division right now because we have 2 champions vacating their titles, with Diego Lopez, who's, by the way, coming back tonight, going to the Contender Series, and Eric Silva going to the Contender Series and earning a shot in the UFC.
Nice. Álvarez is really focused on attacking that lead leg kick. If you notice, you know, he's feinting, throwing some steps in, and then he attacks that lead leg kick. Boom, there he is again. Trying to slow down El Loco.
So Arreola very passive so far tonight,
Again.
contrary to everything we've been saying. And he gets caught there until he finally starts attacking.
Yeah, and that's how you're going to prevent those leg kicks from coming in and being settled in. Again, attacking the lead leg kick. Interesting. This is typical Muay Thai style, and we talked about this. Ooh, nice chopping kick to the leg from Álvarez.
Yeah, Álvarez following his strategy, trying to make Arreola fall into his trap.
You know, and you know what? Loco's not checking any of those kicks, man. And I'll tell you this from experience. There's not that many kicks that you can really take on the leg before it starts taking some effect. Nice push kick. Man, Álvarez is showing up for this fight.
Yeah, Arreola, the eldest fighter we've had inside the black and gold cage. As you mentioned, 43 years old. Having a tough time standing against the very aggressive Juan Álvarez.
Ooh, there's a right hand that connects. Man, we knew this was going to be a stand-up battle.
The leg kick again.
Team's acting to be a little bit more active for Loco.
Yeah, it's time to turn it on. With 2 minutes left here in the first round.
You know, for being 43 years old, man, Loco looks good, dude. He's moving good, well. He's receiving punches. He doesn't look all stiff and weak or anything like that. Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has not been able to land anything. A quicker and stronger Álvarez is so far taking this first round.
Agreed. And I think if he keeps those combinations going, it'll be less punishment on that lead leg kick. So he's got to keep this pace. Just like that. Stay on him, get out of the way. Stay on him, get out of the way. Whoa.
Yeah, and once again, is that constant pressure from Juan El Mazo Álvarez.
Wow, down the pipe. And again, attacks with the Muay Thai kicks.
Yeah.
Man, Álvarez is solid with his Muay Thai, man. Standing on his toes. Left hooks.
Yeah, big sweeping kick there from Arreola. Loco, by the way, has not competed in MMA since June of last year.
Combinations just landed for Álvarez. Since June of last year.
Yeah, he actually did boxing this past August here in Monterrey. He lost via decision.
Oh!
Good combination. 1-2 and a leg kick. That's been the recipe for Álvarez so far in this first round.
Nice! Nice kick.
Yeah.
Oof. And those push kicks.
And let's see if Arreola is able to gain some confidence here at the end of this first round.
Man, Loco's doing really well. Getting those combinations in there. But Álvarez is like a Terminator in here.
Yeah. He's wasting no time. A guy that we hadn't seen before inside the cage, and I wonder why. It's looking good so far.
Well, some of the notes that I've been reading here about him is that he's looking for his 4th victory in professional mixed martial arts. So you know, it's one of those things where there's no record found, but you know, he's had four fights in some local mixed martial arts show. But for sure, what we know is you know, his Muay Thai is looking fantastic tonight, keeping Arreola on his toes. Keeping him guessing. It's got great combos. You know, the 155-pound division it's such a, or 45. You know, we're talking about Diego Lopez coming back. Guys like Macio Fullen that we've had here before.
Yeah.
Putting in some great fights. You know, great fighters on here.
Yeah, let's see what happens now that Diego is back.
And we had the king, the former champ.
That's right, Eric Silva. Here we go. Time for round number 2 here at the show center. Here's Arreola trying to gain some confidence. Pushing forward. Álvarez counters with the leg kick. And Arreola starting to get on fire. But look at Álvarez, very crisp boxing. Able to avoid the attempts. And now battering Loco Arreola, who's trying to go for the takedown.
Nice. Now he's got that deep underhooks now on both those hands. Arreola was coming in for a finish here.
Another guy that we have to mention, Edgar Cebollero Delgado.
Oh, of course, Cebollero.
Also a very important contender when we look at the featherweights now after the title came vacant, with Eric Silva going to the UFC. As Arreola is finally able to work from the top. Arreola, at 43 years old, has fought 17 times. He's 0-2 inside the black and gold cage, losing to Polo Reyes, UFC veteran.
Oh, here we go.
And our former champion, Sergio Draco Cosillo, in the lightweight division.
Yeah, Loco's very heavy here on side control. Good ability for him to do some ground and pounding.
Arreola's experience could be a huge part of him being successful here in the second round.
Man,
So
Loco's just paying really heavy on top.
yeah,
I'm sorry, you were gonna say, Francisco?
I'm just excited about going back to Mexico City.
Yeah. There it is, an explosion there from Álvarez. See if it's enough to get up. Got his legs underneath him now. He's got his base.
Eric Silva, by the way, our former featherweight champion, is fighting the UFC on December 10th. So
Wow.
we're sending him our best vibes, all the best. He's going to be fighting TJ Brown at UFC 282.
TJ Brown. Wow.
Yeah. Prochaska versus Glover Teixeira, number 2.
Nice. Easy takedown there for Arreola.
Arreola looking to grind for a victory. Álvarez has looked much better on his feet. However, the experience of Arreola could play a huge factor here. Trying to be very, very strategic. Although if he doesn't get to work soon, Daniel Almodar might have to stand them up. Seems like this is just a typical lay and pray.
I think we should stand this up. What do you think?
Probably we're 30 seconds late.
Is that what you think?
And counting. Yeah.
Maybe we're just bloodthirsty, you know, spectators.
Yeah, but Álvarez is holding on to the arms well. Finally,
Yeah,
Loco
there
is
it
able
is.
to land the punch, and that should reset the clock then.
There it is.
Okay, Arreola with a 1-2 combination from the top.
I thought for sure the ref was going to stand it.
Yeah, Arreola needs to get to work here. Loco started his career. He's only fought 17 times. He started back in 2008.
Wow.
That was around the time he started,
I
right?
started in 2009. That was my first pro fight.
Yeah, then he had a 4-year layoff. Came back in 13 with 2 fights, 4 in 14, and then so on. As we said, this is his first fight of 2022, although he did boxing back in August.
I mean, 43 years of age, that's just crazy to be
Yeah.
doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I think compared to other sports, I believe, I mean, high-performance sports,
Yeah.
MMA changed it all with Randy Couture.
Yeah, he did set a different, yeah, you're right. I mean, he was 42 years old and he was the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, do we have heavyweights that are that age right now in the UFC?
I believe not, at least not in that division. Teixeira is close to 40, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah, what he did was just incredible. Alrighty, Arreola is giving his best effort, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He's a showman. He likes to always be out there having fun. It's tough. Then again, he hasn't fought MMA in a year. He's 43 years old, but it's still giving his best effort against a very tough opponent.
Yeah, he has. It's you know, and he hasn't really received a lot of damage, really. You know, he's got a couple of knots there on over his right eye, but he seems to be all right. And Álvarez over here is taking some deep breath. He looks more relaxed, actually, now that I'm looking over. But so far, pretty even. Steven, what do you think?
Well, being I think very, very positive about what Arreola did in round number 2. Let's say we're even.
Okay, and round number 1, Álvarez, for sure, though,
For
right?
sure.
For sure, Álvarez,
sure. Okay.
round number 2. Okay, let's go, 1-1.
We got it. Coming up next, the return of our former featherweight king, Diego Lopez. And look at Arreola. I think his confidence went all the way up. Álvarez trying to defend himself. And look at Arreola, he just keeps on going. He ate 2 punches, though. He ate another one.
Over.
Arreola's dropped,
over.
and that's it.
Wow.
Big knockout for Álvarez.
My goodness, knockout punch. Knocks out El Loco. It almost looks like El Loco Arreola was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go for it. I don't care, right? You could just hear that switch happen with Loco. He's like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna keep throwing until I get him.
Yeah, and you know what? Knowing him, I guess it would have been better to lose this way than to go into the decision with a dull fight.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Exactly, I think you're right. Let's take a look at the replay. Inside leg kick, Arreola was getting some great combinations in. Beautiful, but here it is, the counter of Álvarez catches him right there, right on the button. Puts him out cold. It's over.
Yeah, big effort.
Danny Modá does a fantastic job of stopping that fight right where it needed to be stopped.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Álvarez, after the hype and obviously being so pumped about winning the fight, it's obviously time to approach his opponent, pay his respects. But a big win. I mean, I'm going to talk to Henry. Where did this kid come from?
Oh, Álvarez, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's 3-1. But, you know, he came to kill. I mean, he came ready to finish the fight.
He fought very well.
Very powerful featherweight. So I was very, very impressed. Obviously, when you have Arreola in the cage, he's, as we said, a very well-regarded and respected fighter here in Monterrey. But at the same time, I think that can take a light away from this Álvarez kid. I mean, not so much if a kid 29 years old. I mean, late bloomer, if you will. But, yeah, he was very, very impressive.
Yeah, he did. He started off really, really tactical, very smart. And then Arreola, with his experience in the fight game, I think brought him into deeper waters, kind of made him feel a little bit, oh, man, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. You know, that kind of psychological warfare with him. And then all of a sudden, you know, when he gets pushed to the limit, Álvarez took advantage of that and did a fantastic combination that put him out.
Yeah, and you can tell when you get applauded like this after you were knocked out, you know, the people here really love and respect Ricardo Arreola. He's earned it. I mean, his personality, his style, the bloody wars that he's been involved in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, I mean, obviously, Alex, you as a fighter, you know, going to the major leagues and fighting at the highest level, you understand and I think you regard very well what these guys and appreciate what these guys do every time.
Oh, 100%, man. And just the sacrifice and you know, looking at Loco, like getting in there and being 43 years old and stepping in there against these young bucks, you know, like, wow, man. And doing very well.
Yeah, and we saw a couple people here who I believe, or I presume would be...
Señoras y señores, la referee Daniela Modad ha detenido el combate a los 22 segundos de el tercer asalto. Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stopped the fight at 22 seconds of the third round to declare the winner by knockout to Juan El Mazo Álvarez.